WRFG Atlanta.
Good morning blues will brighten up your day as you put on your shoes. Yeah, yeah. You know it's got to be the way to wake up each and every day on WRFG in Atlanta. Good morning blues.
Good morning, blues.
Good morning, blues. June 25th, almost to the end of the month, almost to the July 4th holiday. And we're waking up the city bit by bit by bit, carefully and slowly. I'm glad to see that. But it does mean more cars on the road. So guess what? I got a couple of great songs to support the idea that, traffic can be pretty cool. I've got one from 94 and one brand new one from Australia. So I hope you enjoy a couple of these melted together. I have a terrific guest for you today. B.B. King's daughter Shirley is going to join us, and I'll tell you all about what she's up to after this. with band Traffic and the biggest, baddest version of Gimme Some Lovin'. I guess that was on my mind because I was supposed to see Steve Winwood last week as the opening act for Steely Dan. Of course, that all got shelved. Boo hiss. Along with this list of like the last 100 days of the most amazing spring that I had ever planned. And it all just went... What are you going to do? I know, same as everybody else. Followed it up with an Australian chap I have followed for the last few years called Lackey Doley. And he's got the old Whamma Jamma bar on his B3 to rock it out. And his version of Gimme Some Lovin'. So that's because you're going to see more traffic. The only time I miss the empty streets these days is when we're out on our bikes, which is 3 or 4 times a week. We just got to go back to being more careful. But we do want the city to wake up. Going to continue the thought. This kind of connects into traffic, but it also connects into the craziest thing I think we saw. Was it HBO, Netflix? I don't know, probably Netflix or something like that. Movie. I couldn't believe the number of people that got into this. I never watched it. Sorry, don't have the patience. But interesting how a song should appear that probably fits the groove, along with all kinds of other things that we've got going on today. I'm just glad to be able to still bring you the music and the information to keep you going. I love to have a joke with my postman. And shout out to Antonio if you're laying on your ass in Starbucks or something like that. But I don't refer to him as a postman. I call him my mail escort. I'm not sure how he feels about that. He hasn't written me back yet, but you can bet I'll hear about it. Music.
Him the Tiger King. When diamond rains, he's not afraid to die.
No, he's not afraid, y'all.
Some say they could hear him scream. He won't get caught alive. No, he won't get caught alive. Just look into his eyes. He's the Tiger King. Men, they love his steed 'cause of the whole damn tiger thing, you see. He had him coast to coast.
Tiger's pretty cool.
They tried to shut him down. A hit that would have put him dead in the ground.
Dead in the ground.
No, he won't get caught alive.
Won't get caught,
No, he won't get caught alive. Just look into his eyes.
Let me hear you roar. Let me hear you roar. Look into his eyes. Tiger King. Well, well, long ago. Not afraid to die. Afraid to die. Won't get caught alive, caught alive. Tiger King. Let me hear you
Car,
roar.
truck, or boat. It's easy. We can put it to good use, and you get a tax receipt. Call our toll-free number. We pick up your vehicle, running or not. We send you a tax receipt, and it takes just a few minutes. Call toll-free 844-WRFG-CAR. That's 844-973 4227 to arrange a free pickup. Proceeds will benefit WRFG 89.3 FM, WRFG.org, your station for progressive information and hand-picked quality music. Thank you.
So there you had the song Tiger King by a band Greyhounds. That's their third album, I believe, and these are two sidemen within J.J. Grey and Mofro. And people describe them as a clash between ZZ Top and Hall & Oates. It's got a sprinkling of all kinds of things, but they decided to make a crazy record about it, a crazy show, the Netflix thing. So anyway, that took you off in a different direction, I'm sure. Taken off in a different direction, unfortunately a negative one. The Vista Room in Decatur, which was one of the very few places that would host and maintain a lot of blues and zydeco acts when they came through, has closed permanently, which is truly sad. I think it was 3.5 years on a roll, but simply cannot sustain being dark and, all the overheads. And it's probably going to be September before that's back. And judging by the restaurant activity support, which is very low, and the same with gyms, people are probably going to wait too long till maybe Christmas before they will come to see live music anyway. And that was a real shame. They were a terrific place. Very unique. There wasn't another one like it in Atlanta where you could have tables and you could book space in advance no matter what time you showed up. Lots of advantages, but it is no more. But today, you're going to have some fun with Miss Shirley King, who is a real hoot, as we say in London. 71 this year, I think. She's got a brand new album out called Blues for a King. She used to perform a lot with her father, BB. But lots of legends have shown up on this album. Joe Louis Walker, Elvin Bishop, Robin Ford, Junior Wells, Kirk Fletcher, Steve Cropper, plenty more. There's an interesting thing I'll have to explain. When they do Junior Wells' Hoodoo Man, that is a real Junior Wells vocal that the producer had sat on and added to the track. So it wasn't overriding a pre-existing version of the song. Anyway, she has a lot to say, I can assure you. And you're going to have fun. That'll be about 8:40, I guess, judging by the clock as to what we're doing now. So, funny enough, Joe Louis Walker will be my guest next week. Terrific guitar player, but what a recall, what a memory. Just talking to him, he'll spin back to somewhere in the 60s. He was in Frisco before it was cool to be in Frisco. Coming up, lots of interesting and different sounds, little jazz, funk, blues, soul, all kinds of things. Lots of ladies in today's show. So that will certainly spice things up. Stay tuned.
Thrill is gone. I Oh, I'm free from your spell. I'm free, I'm free, I'm free now. Oh, I'm free from your spell. Now that it's all over, I just wanna wish you well.
I need a drug that won't mess with my head. I need a shrink to agree with what I say. I need a heart stronger than the one I have. I need a song to sing along every time I'm in my head. Baby, that's the way of a runaway man. This place that made me who I am. Babe, you can change me, but understand, I got a long way to go. I got a long way. Yeah, old dog, babe, I've heard that said. But the older I get, yeah, the harder that sits in my head. So if I want what I can't have, yeah, sing me a song and I'll try to sing along if I can. Need some love, love with no strings attached. I need something that I can't have. Baby, that's the way of a runaway man. This place that made me who I am. Baby, you can change me, but understand, I got a long way to go. I got a long way to go. I got a long way.
I run away. I run away. I run away. I run away.
Sorry ain't good enough. When you tell someone you've been lying, you got caught in a lie. So confess and stop your crying. Own up to the fact that you've been so untrue. And all this time behind my back, you showed me the real you. You can't blame it on drinking. You put that glass in your hand. Don't blame it on a friend, or stick your head in the sand. Secrets all come out in a way that you don't plan it. Don't be surprised if you fail trying to hide it. Own up to the fact that you've been so untrue. All this time behind my back, you showed me the real you. You can't blame it on the weather. That's no excuse. You can't blame it on your family, saying you were abused. Can't tell me you were joking to cover up all those lies. late, and this is why. Sorry is a way to deflect this true meaning. You don't have to lie to hide your true feeling. Now that we all know the truth has all come out, what's your next plan? What's this all about? Sorry.
The past is over, won't be back no more. The memories, they'll fade in time, like the old bells that used to chime. The future's gone, time's moved on. It's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong. Now my wheels need oil, they're turning slow. This train I'm on got nowhere to go. I'll take a walk, I've got nothing to say. The rain falls down every night and day. I don't feel strong, my nights are long. It's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong. I stay alone. Most of the time I don't answer the phone. There's nothing here to make me smile. It's been this way for too long a while. I don't belong. Now you're gone. It's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong. The past is over, won't be back no more. The memories, they'll fade in time, like the old bells that used to chime. The future's gone, time's moved on. It's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong. All gone wrong.
This is John Cleary from New Orleans, Louisiana, and you're listening to UK Bob, the Good Morning Blues.
So in that dinky little montage, we kicked off with Shirley and B.B. King doing The Thriller's Gone, or A Piece Of. And she and her dad were pretty tight. She talks about him happily all the time and carries the torch. So it's going to be good to hear all about this brand new album in about, I guess, 15 minutes. Followed by Andy Frasco and the UN. It's kind of a funky horns thing. I've got a long way to go. That's another brand new album. Also brand new, we heard Kenny Blues Boss Wayne with a duet called Sorry Ain't Good Enough. And then my friend Kim Simmons with Savoy Brown's brand new release out in the next week or two. Lots of great guitar work on there, as you would expect, and a typically tasteful Savoy Brown album. You can always pick them out. British blues, but rock blues, played a certain way, kind of stands out. So there you have a little roundup of stuff that we got into. I do want to mention that in my traveling, I just find it odd, and I've decided that seeing half of America rejecting pandemic masks, I've actually written an apology to the horror film industry for trashing the characters that they show going into the murder basement, because I think it's insane. Seems to be okay where I live, and it seems to be okay in the city. It's some of the suburbs and places, as you've seen, Florida and Texas, crazy volumes of people, 1 in 30 wearing masks, and you're going to see the results. So wash your bloody hands, all right?
Familiar fear returning when he left his bridges burning, and you thought your heart would cave in, so you called upon me. You told me you just can't see straight, and all of the plans that we made will all eventually fade like childhood memories. But you're gonna be fine, fine, 'cause I'm right by your side. I know you're hurting, but don't cry over yesterday. I'm gonna show you how to get over all of your mistakes. So forgive, don't forget, tomorrow ain't here, and your life's gonna turn around. So don't cry over yesterday. You were hungry for conversation to nourish your expectation, but he gave you empty words. They didn't feed your soul at all. A bitter experience makes you feel that you never can win. How could you be so foolish? Be ready when it comes round again. But I know you'll be fine, fine, with me right by your side. Oh, I know you're hurting, but don't cry over yesterday. I'm gonna show you how to get over all of your mistakes. So forgive, don't forget, tomorrow ain't here, has come and gone. Nights alone, been far too long. Need a love to call my own. Satisfy and soothe my soul. There's got to be someone I can hold on to. I need a love that's meant to be. Someone to see the good in me. I pray each day and I believe change will come and bring me peace. There's got to be someone I can hold on to. Oh. Tears linger on. I try to sleep before the dawn. Pray to God, my soul to keep. I know someone's out there for me. There's got to be someone I can hold on to.
She's also fine. She only wants the best, but I can't afford a kind. You know she got to have it.
She got to have it.
You know she got to have it.
She got to have it.
My baby got to have it, but she won't get it from me. Well, she give me lots of love, and when it's money I give her. When the river dries up, so does that little girl. You know she got to have it.
She got to have it.
You know she got to have it.
She got to have it.
My baby got to have it, but she won't get it from me. Well, the Cadillac is fine, Mercedes even better. Drive to the store when her skin tight leathers. You know she got to have it.
She got to have it.
You know she got to have it.
She got to have it.
My baby got to have it, but she won't get it from me. When I'm flush with the mornings, things are out of sight. When she gives me what I want, I feel like a king. When my pocketbook is empty, that's when the loving ends. Diamonds and pearls are all that she adores. My baby get upset, right back to the store. You know she got to have it.
She got to have it.
You know she got to have it.
She got to have it.
My baby got to have it.
Everyone who's taken us up on a request to like WRFG 89.3 FM on social media. Just doing this one thing means so much to all of our volunteers who are doing what they need to do to keep themselves and their families safe and healthy, and still bring you the progressive information and hand-picked quality music programs you've come to expect from your independent community radio station. If you haven't liked us yet on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, please do. Our station Facebook page is WRFG 89.3 FM. On Twitter and Instagram, you'll find us at WRFG Atlanta. You'll find direct links to all three on our webpage, WRFG.org. And please tell your friends about WRFG and ask them to like us too. In Atlanta, we're 89.3 FM. You can listen to us worldwide over our free mobile app and WRFG.org.
Hi, this is Dana Gillespie from London, England, to tell you about the second best way to wake up. Just tune in to UK Bob and his Good Morning Blues show and feel good for 4 hours on WRFG Atlanta.
The Jimmies, She's Gotta Have It. Before that, Bridget Kelly Band, Someone to Hold On To, and the fabulous new album from Ruby Turner featuring the song Don't Cry Over Yesterday. Killer album from the English-Jamaican lady who just sings like a bird. Great stuff. Glad to be able to have that album in here. And hang on to your hollyhocks, because B.B. King's daughter Shirley, daughter of the blues, will be honking at you any second now about her brand new album, Blues for a King.
Okay.
Well, here we are on another Thursday morning, an edition of Good Morning Blues. It's a little bit extra special today because you get to talk to the daughter of the blues, Miss Shirley King. Morning, Shirley.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Now, we all know how, people in Chicago or people living in Chicago are surrounded by the blues, but I got a feeling that you're surrounded by pillows right now.
I am, and I'm not going to give out too much information here, but I'm very comfortable, and I'm ready to talk about this CD.
Well, good. Well, we want everybody that's not working today to snuggle down in their pillows and listen to what you have to say about this new album. And one of the things that struck me was the way that you've managed to gather this stellar list of proper musicians on the album Blues for a King. I mean, that's quite an amazing lineup of people standing alongside you and behind you. You must have had a lot of fun doing this.
Actually, I wished I could take that credit. I just got through talking to John about that a while ago. That's been the first question asked because people are excited about the guitar players, and I wish I could take the credit, but I cannot because this was done as a surprise to me, too. I'm just as surprised as my listening audience and the people that's been interviewing me about who's on this CD and about the songs. The songs, I had nothing to do with the selection. The guitar players, I had nothing to do with it. The guitar players were brought on by John Lapton, the young man that set the interviews up, because he's been dealing with legendary stars for a long time. So when he went to the record label, he told them what he wanted to do, and the owner of the record label listened to him, and they put this together between him and the record label owner. They put this together. They selected the songs. I would have never, ever selected these songs for myself to sing because I didn't see that was something I could do. I really was like totally wiped out when they sent me the song list of things to do in the tracks, and I couldn't say no because I had got paid. I was getting paid, so, when you're getting paid, you do the best you can, and you do what you're supposed to.
Well, there's something that you're missing there. You have to remember that all of these, what I call proper musicians, only do what they want to do, and they did this because they wanted to play for you. So, number one. Number two, it's always a very good thing to have someone make the song selections that maybe you wouldn't think of. Because let me tell you, the result that came out is very, very clever. You have delivered something that has quite a range of blues, rock, soul.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Now, when your voice in this album is just full of power and energy, and you spread it across all these different things. So I think it was a great idea to make this list that you came out.
Oh, it was. I mean, believe me, I'm not disappointed at all because, number one, how as a blues artist, kind of really almost an unknown blues artist other than being B.B. King's daughter, come in the studio and record a group of songs that's not all blues and that's a phenomenal legend type song. They wasn't just songs. I mean, Feeling All Right and It's All Right Mama, and the songs that they selected were legendary. Then they went and got the legendary guitar players that maybe you would think, hey, B.B. King would have recorded with, and he recorded with so many, he couldn't record with everybody. So it seemed like he left this earth and left me some of them to use because Joe Louis Walker was the only person I had previously talked to. After my father passed, he was the only legendary guitar player that had did anything with my father that called me to check on me to make sure I was all right. And I had never talked to him when my dad was living, but when my father passed, he paid me the respect of calling me, asking me was I all right, tried to hook me up with his management company, and the contract didn't come back so cool. That's the only reason we didn't connect before now. So to see him all of a sudden come back and be super guest on my CD album, oh, my God. You know, it's like, am I dreaming? And then when I went to see in the name of the people, some of the names I had saw on posters with my father, but then when I went to reading about them and finding out who they were, I almost fainted. I couldn't believe it was happening for me like that. So I'm blessed.
Well, there's another interesting connection there because Joe is going to be on the show next week because he's got some new music. I knew that he was the only current player that actually played with your dad. So I thought that was great that he's on this and the fact that he checked on you. I'll send you a picture of me and Joe when we finish today. So that will give you an image of who the crazy Englishman is, okay?
Oh, cool, because I was saying I'm going to go and get that Englishman. I'm going to get him and bring him on home with me. Well, maybe if he's married, I'll just borrow him.
Well, that's it. Maybe we can arrange a rental agreement.
Okay.
Well, I tell you what, this is a good place for us to stop for a second and let everybody hear some of the music on this album. We're going to play a track that features Joe Louis Walker in this combined version of Hoodoo Man Blues by Junior Wells.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love that one.
I'll buzz your bell, little girl. I want you to take it on your absurd road, but I'll hold them fine. Lord, I'm trying to make my lady smile. Lord, you know that everybody they try to tell me that you're somebody learn hoodoo, hoodoo.
I buzzed your bell this morning, elevator running slow.
joining in with Joe Louis Walker and a real classic song there. But there's a lot more to this album, and we're going to talk about some of the great connections that have come up with London. As an Englishman, I would focus on things like that. My favorite track so far is the way that you interpret the song Can't Find My Way Home. And that's a Steve Winwood song, but in addition, you've got Martin Barr from Jethro Tull, another great British band, playing guitar for you. A lot of people believe that this is a song by Traffic, when it's really not. It's a Blind Faith song, which is also Steve Winwood, but some people combine the two. And anyway, I just love the way that this song, slinks along. So, but you probably thought to yourself, wow, how am I going to do this? Because like you said, you...
I cried.
Yeah.
I was like, can't do it. And I started thinking about, if they take that money back, you'll do it. And I said, oh, well, I'm going to do this song. It's going to come out sounding like Shirley King, because I actually had to go and listen to it because all they sent me was tracks. And since it wasn't music that I was familiar with, it was a struggle in my mind that they done sent me the wrong kind of stuff to do. I cannot do this. But, like I said, they wasn't taking no for an answer, and I didn't want to get the money back, so I figured a way to do it.
Well, that's funny because sometimes someone has to tell you you can do this, because they see in you what you don't see in yourself.
That is true. Very true.
Now, this will probably, hopefully, make you laugh because you were a bit of a late bloomer. I think is this your third album, with the first one in the 90s you started singing?
Yes, it is. It's the third LP, and neither the first or the second album did any real good things for me, because what happened, the first one was done with an artist that was out there trying to make a name for himself. And, of course, he embraced B.B. King's daughter, new and fresh in the blues business, that didn't really know the trade yet, was just getting involved. And they created a CD on me that was released to GBW, which is a Japanese record label, which I can't even get hold to my own CD, and I haven't heard it anymore. So I guess they waiting for me to die so he can jump out and be famous. But actually, sometimes they do that. They hold the best. So when you kick the bucket, now you're famous because you ain't here to get your money. So I have that CD didn't really take me nowhere. Then the second CD probably could have took me somewhere, but then all it would have been is something of everybody's other song. It would have been cover songs that were popular enough for me to maybe work up under, but they wouldn't have sold Shirley King because there was no original tunes. They were all cover done by people that I had admired. Johnny Taylor was my stepfather's cousin, so I was honored to do his songs. Etta James was my idol, so I was honored to do Pet Mama, and then I was able to throw in 2 or 3 of my dad's songs and did them my way. That's what that covered. But then it got sit up in the closet, so it didn't do what this one is doing. This is the first and ever time I felt that I'm professional in the recording business. The first time in 29 years of performing.
Well, to me, I think it was worth the wait, because this is what you call the real deal. The right music with the right songs that you put your heart into with great results, and for all the right reasons, not the wrong ones. So let's just forget about the other two, okay?
Yeah, that's what I say. Since they're locked up in closets on shelf, and I'm going to live so long till they going to die, and then I'm going to get my own music back.
Well, the reason I always thought it was funny to call you a late bloomer is because my wife calls me the same thing. I didn't find my wife till I was 52, and I said to her, "Girl, I've been looking for you all my life." She puts her hands on her hips and says, "Well, I've been here all the time, boy."
Oh boy! Now she sounds like a hoochie coochie woman. I like to have out there on the road with me. See, I like them women that know how to talk to you guys.
She's hilarious. She's a high school teacher, and during the day, you know, the boys are very polite to her because she speaks very quietly. They have no idea how funny she is. So it's a wonderful cocktail, you know, of people. But we've been together 12 years, 24/7, and I call her my quarantine queen, you know.
Well, she's going to love me because I got a Blues in the School program, and every show I do, I'm going to request a school within that area to bring me in at my expense to work a show out with the kids every place I tour. That's going to be part of my commitment to myself, to use my Blues in the School program at every city I go to, because I think it's going to draw the kids now where maybe they just would have came to see me because I'm B.B. King's daughter, and they hope B.B. King showed up. But now they know B.B. King is gone, so when I come places now, they're going to be looking for Shirley King, B.B. King's daughter, not B.B. King's daughter. What's her name? Because that's basically how I've had to live for the last 29 years. And I didn't mind doing that because my father had worked hard to have his limelight. So I didn't want to step on his limelight at all. And now that he left the torch in my hand to carry on, and most people don't want to agree with that because most people want to be famous doing something under my daddy's name, and they don't want me to do it. But Cleopatra Records said, we're going to stop that. You're going to carry the torch for B.B. King, not some of his other late family members that want to be famous now because he's gone, or people that have embraced some of his band members. And everybody is trying to work on my dad's name that really don't want to honor working with me, but they want to be able to say what they did with B.B. King. And B.B. King don't owe anybody anything. He don't even owe his daughter anything because he paid people that worked for him, and he took very good care of all his family members. So that means when a person do that, they don't owe you anything, whether they're here or gone. They didn't leave no unpaid bills. So I'm honored to do what my father told me to do. He told me to come out here and make a name for myself and don't try to coattail on his name. He said that over and over. And I think he spiritually came to Cleopatra Records and encouraged them to do just what they're doing, because they're doing it just like my dad told me to do it.
Well, I think what we've got in front of us in this CD is proof. We're going to put the record straight. So we're playing Miss Shirley King from the album Blues for a King, out this Friday, and you're talking to her live, and we're going to play the track that we've been talking about, which is her version of Can't Find My Way Home, a Steve Winwood song, with the wonderful Martin Barr from Jethro Tull playing guitar, and you get yet another interpretation of the blues.